Hello there, Star Wars fans. Thank you for tuning into your favorite intergalactic frequency. A short transmission today as some news just dropped that I needed to get out to you guys ASAP. So let's cut right to the chase.
This is where the fun begins.
So Henry Gilroy, writer and executive producer on the Star Wars animated series Rebels, has come out and called the Sabine Jedi status in Ahsoka a mistake. He then continued on in saying that they never intended or wanted a Jedi status for Sabine. On the Pod of Rebellion podcast, he goes into it and says, "It was absolutely not the plan. We really felt that not only did it step on Ezra's story, it was a weak retread. We already did this. The idea of Sabine training as a Jedi when she's already this fantastic warrior of her own type, we felt like this is overkill. I had nothing to do with the Ahsoka series, so I was shocked. What I love about the story with the Darksaber is that you don't have to be a Jedi to have Jedi ideals. I think that's what's really the more important thing, rather than Force pushing Ezra 100 feet when she's never used the Force before." Wow, I'm shocked. Seriously. Now, yes, I'm shocked that I happen to be agreeing with the creative that once worked at Lucasfilm, but I'm also really shocked because it just seems that since the Adam Driver scoop came out, where he then talked about how Bob Iger and Disney shot down the Hunt for Ben Solo movie idea, and everything that we've seen after that in regards to Bob Iger, Disney, Lucasfilm, how the relationship works, it's just now another person coming out that previously worked for Lucasfilm that is kind of exposing it. Another person breaking their silence and actually saying their true feelings about what is going on over in Star Wars. And I gotta say is that I'm here for all of it. I love the honesty. I love how they're just coming out and saying it. They're not just going to be trying to beat around the bush. And not that I need validation, not that I need confirmation, it's just so nice to hear that what I'm thinking, what other fans I know are thinking, isn't seen as crazy. Yes! Yeah! It's not that we're the ones in the minority with these feelings. Henry Gilroy played a role in developing her story, developing the overall story for Rebels, which is a canon show. Now, it all comes down to Dave. Now, back when they were making Rebels, Dave might not have wanted Sabine to become a Jedi. Maybe he did, we don't know, but it's not the direction they went with.
But I really was looking forward to the Sabine Darksaber episode. I wanted to do an episode like that for a while. I wanted to do a real Jedi Master training episode with swords, and I think the twist that it wasn't even, somebody that has the Force as a Jedi to be trained made it even better, because it's more accessible to the audience. I think it was critical to really get into Sabine's head and understand what's driving her and, kind of how her life has been complicated. And I wanted to make that episode really all about, the emotional states of these characters and what drives them personally, as opposed, the sword technique and all that is kind of a layer beneath that, but it's not the most important thing. It becomes important if you relate to her and you relate to the struggle going on there. So she's always been a very capable character, because she's very well educated. She went to an academy, so she has a lot of training and knows how to do a lot of things, but she had a limitation when it came really to dealing with her family and her emotions, and I really looked forward to telling that story.
But clearly he's had a change of heart over the last few years, and this does kind of play into one of my issues with Dave overall as a creative in the Star Wars galaxy. It's no secret that Dave adores his characters. I mean, Ahsoka Tano has survived death, 3 or 4 times at this point? So Dave just finding another way to bolster up one of his characters, one that he can't seem to let go or he can't seem to not have in the limelight, is another issue I have. I really don't think it was necessary to make her more of a girl boss than she already was. I mean, back in Rebels, she had everything. She was a child prodigy. She was a part of the Empire at one point, defected to the Rebels. Master when it came to explosives, master when it came to technology. She even got the Darksaber at one point, and she learned a lot of the ideals of what it is to be a Jedi and what it is to also be a Mandalorian, but she didn't need to go down that path because she had her own journey to go on. She had her own lessons to learn, and she didn't need to be Force-sensitive to do any of that. So I really have to agree with Henry here when he says you don't have to be a Jedi to have Jedi ideals. And I think Lucasfilm and Disney just don't understand that. I think they've lost the art of how to tell stories with these type of characters without having to make every character the most powerful character, without having to make every character Force sensitive. They don't even really understand the Force to begin with. They don't really understand and respect the Jedi. But then, hey, let's make Sabine, this OP character, now Force sensitive. And not just Force sensitive, where she's kind of Force sensitive, which they were kind of trying to allude to earlier on in the series. But nope, now she's able to force push Ezra over 100 feet in the air when she couldn't even move a cup a few episodes ago.
That's not how the Force works.
And Gilroy and them were so right for not having this be done in Rebels. It would have taken away from Ezra's story, it would have been too convoluted, too many Force users, especially during a time when the amount of Force users in the galaxy, especially ones that were on the light side, were supposed to be slim to none.
Quinlan was here.
And yes, this feels very in line with Disney Star Wars, Dave being a company man, as well as the agendas of Kathleen and Bob Iger alike. And while I'm looking forward to Season 2, you've seen my previous videos on the leaks and rumors that have come out. I'm excited, but this is definitely a part of the show that I do want to see a little bit downplayed. I know everyone's going to come at me and say, George said anybody can use the Force. It's like karate. The more you train at it, the better you get. But that based on your genetics, based on your midichlorian count, there should still be limits to what you can do. And we don't need our already loved OP characters being unnecessarily now OP just because why the hell not? But guys, that's all today from your favorite galaxy far, far away. That's all I got for this video. Something new I'm trying to do here, a little bit off the cuff, not scripted, just my raw thoughts, trying to get some of these videos out to you a lot quicker. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new so you don't miss my upcoming videos on lore, other deep dive video essays I'm working on, as well as more videos like this. And please in the comments, let me know down below what you think of this video, what you think about the Sabine being a Jedi and Henry Gilroy's comments, as well as what would you like to see from me in the future. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you, always.
Another happy landing.